So good afternoon to one and all present over here, and the one who will be watching us after this video would be uploaded. So today we have come again with yet another video, and this session will be purely based upon the book talk. We both have read the book called The Alchemist, written by Paulo Coelho, and I wanted to ask some questions from Sir. I had some of the doubts, and I want the clearance from Sir. So Sir, like my first question to you is that The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho is such a great book written by him. Each and everything is beautifully described. It talks about the journey of transformation of a boy called Santiago, and the way like he just found his purpose. He found a real treasure, and at last he realized that the real treasure is not in the terms of gold or money, it is in the terms of wisdom and truth. So Sir, my first question to you is that when you read this book, the book The Alchemist,
I read this book way back in 2015-16.
so how can you relate yourself with the protagonist's life?
I think I could really relate with this protagonist Santiago very, very deeply. And I felt as if I am the very Santiago of the book, because I had also before that gone through such phases of my life. Like I had a true inner calling in my life. I had courage to follow true calling, and naturally, and I saw the universe conspiring to help me out to achieve what I dreamt.
And so what is that one thing that you find inspiring in this book, and what do you think the youngsters should read this book or not?
Yes, of course, Srishti, everybody should read this book, because this book talks a lot about your self-realization. Everybody should have a purpose in his life. Like if you want to be a doctor, an engineer, a designer, teacher, whatever you want, that may not necessarily be your true inner calling. Maybe that may not necessarily be your deep dreaming. So this book specifically says that you are born with a particular term. I think the author is using here is personal legend. Yes. So you are born with, everybody is born with personal legend. So what is that personal legend? So this book really takes you to the journey of self-realization of Santiago, and inspires you to start your own journey of self-realization. Everybody has his or her goal in life, and we undergo a process of achieving that purpose or goal in life. That is a career goal. For instance, if your worldly goal is to be a teacher, in order to be a teacher, you undergo a transformation, a spiritual journey. So what you become, that is what book talks about. Book says that your career goal is all right, but what you make out of that goal is your true calling. I would like each of the youth or the listener viewers to go through this book if they are aware of their true calling in their life.
Sir, like you said that you got your true calling, so do you believe in this phrase like when you want anything, the whole universe conspires to make the things go in your favor? And if yes, so why most of the youth, they fail in like realizing their dreams, and finally they like fail and they just lay blame on like God or sometimes the universe? I don't think so.
Yes, Srishti, very much. I really believe in the words of wisdom that if you want something, the universe conspires to help you achieve that goal. I believe. But as you said that the youth sometimes fails, I think then it's not their true calling. I should say that if a person wants something and he doesn't get it, I must say that it was not his inner true calling. It was not, as the book says, personal legend. It was not the deeper dreaming from within, I think. So he must work on this. I have heard many people say that आप किसी चीज़ को शिद्दत से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात तुम्हें उसे मिलाने में लग जाती है. हमने तो उसको शिद्दत से चाहा था तो हमें तो वो मिली नहीं. इसीलिए नहीं मिली कि शायद वो आपके लिए नहीं बनी थी. आप अपनी इनर कॉल नहीं देख पाए. हो सकता है कि आपके दिमाग में कोई ऐसी चीज़ें प्रोजेक्ट हो गई थी. आपने कोई मूवी की एक हीरोइन देखी होगी, राइट, देन और उससे आप इंस्पायर हुए, आपको क्रश उस पर हो गया, उस हीरोइन पे. अब एक लड़की जो उसके जैसे दिखती है, आप बोलेंगे यही मेरे लिए बनी है, ये तो मेरी इनर कॉल है. जबकि क्या था, वो तो प्रोजेक्शन थी, मन की थी. तो ये यहाँ पे बहुत सोचने वाली बात है कि जो इनर कॉलिंग है सृष्टि, जिसको इस किताब में पर्सनल लेजेंड कहा गया है, उसे हमें जानना पड़ेगा.
Sir, The Alchemist, what do you think? Is it still relevant in the present era?
Of course, Srishti, why shouldn't it be? Because this book is all about the journey of self-discovery. Who would not like to go on the journey of self-discovery? Even those who do not know what self-discovery is. See this boy, if he doesn't know the ABC of, for example, he knows otherwise. If he doesn't know the ABC of self-discovery, still he is discovering himself. So naturally, The Alchemist is the very, I should say, guidebook on the journey of self-discovery. If you want to discover yourself, please go through it and learn that in literal sense, alchemy means that a baser metal is transformed into gold in literal sense. But in spiritual sense, really it is all about discovering ourselves. Like here you can say base metal is human being, and he should undergo transformation in order to become God, because the treasure lies within. That is what the book says also, that the treasure is nowhere else but it is within you, it is inside you. But in order to get that treasure, you need to travel, you need to go, you need to undergo a process, and under that process you will be spiritually transformed.
So sir, like the protagonist, he got so many people on his way that guided him, that in order to find the treasure, in order to like find that true path that he had been looking for since very starting, for which he didn't even become priest and all. He set out on his own journey. So what do you think, in our life there are some people that like act as an omen in our life to provide us a right direction?
Yes, Srishti, why not? Why to cite other example? I am the very glaring example of this truth, that yes, if you have got your inner calling, and you will get help from nowhere. And that's what I did, I got in my life. Many a time I had a closer say encounter with death, and I saw death at very close quarter, and I came out of the mouth of death, and with the help of this thing, that thing. So I have seen such miracles happening in my life. Why not? Provided it is your, again I would like to say that, personal legend, it is your true inner calling.
So sir, like what do you think, does this book set up a connection or establish a connection with spirituality too?
Of course, this is highly spiritual. This is based on the Advaita philosophy of Vedanta. For example, you might have read, you were telling the other day, Yajurveda. Under Yajurveda comes Brihad Aranakya Upanishad. So in that there is a Mahavakya, Aham Brahmasmi. So it says that whatever you are searching outside, that treasure, that lies within you. मैं वही तत्व हूँ. और दूसरे उपनिषद में बोलते हैं तत्वमसि, आप भी वही हैं. बट क्या है कि हमें अपनी इम्प्योरिटीज़ को हटाना है. जैसे एल्केमी में, alchemy means process of transformation. As in the process of transformation, what happens? The alchemist removes impurities from the base metal and turn it into gold. So the alchemist does not do anything at all. He does not, does he take gold from somewhere else? No. The gold is very much present inside the base metal. Similarly, the God is also very much present inside us, isn't it? God means values. God means what is good is God. Good things in life. So if you want to realize yourself naturally, so this book is highly spiritual in its content and intent. And why not? I have cited example. Alchemy is the process of transformation. In literal alchemy, a base metal is transformed into gold, and there is a process of transformation. So book says that the base metal, you may call any metal, is gold itself. It only needs to undergo transformation. Similarly, in spiritual alchemy, man is a kind of base metal, and gold is God within him. God means Brahma. God means what is good is God. God means good things. God means values. God means sanskaras. God means qualities, guna. I find this book a spiritual text. based on the Advaita philosophy of Vedas, which says that you are the God. I am the God. Aham Brahmasmi. So it means that I need to undergo some transformation. As the base metal is hidden by some dross, some impurities, and the alchemist removes those impurities, doesn't it? Even if alchemists, they may not necessarily have existed in reality, but see the beauty of imagination that the alchemist is supposed to remove the impurity from the base metal and turn it into gold. Similarly, human being also needs to remove his impurity, his vikaras, his ignorance, his egos, in order to be a self-realized soul. So there is a striking, I should say, relationship driven between the man's life versus God and the base metal versus gold. And the alchemist turns the base metal into gold. So do the situations in life turn human being into God. This is what Vedas call Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. But we do not realize. Why so? Because we have so many impurities of ego, vices, rag, dvesh, frustration. We hold grudge against this person, that person.
So what do you think that this book, like while reading this book, when the youngsters would read this book, because it's such a nice book, so when they would complete reading this book, what do you think, they're likely to get influenced by it, or somewhere they'll find themselves in the same situation?
Naturally, if they read book thoroughly and sincerely, I'm sure they will see that nothing should come in their way of dreaming first and then achieving it. Because as there is a sentence in this book also, the fear of failure is worse than failure itself. So nothing should stop youth from realizing their deeper dreaming if they really read this book and sit back and ask themselves question: if I want to be a doctor, what next?
So what do you think in this era where there are lots of distraction among youth, whether you talk about the infatuation, whether you talk about the terms of alcoholism, or like people are youngsters are taking the drugs and all. So what do you think, are they likely to find their personal legend? Because we all have that. So what message would you like to give to those youth who find it very much difficult to realize their personal legend? How can they just?
I think as in this book also mentioned beautifully, that when you have this inner calling, so listen to it and pluck up the courage to follow that inner calling, and do not let people, society, situations come in your way of realizing that inner calling, inner dreaming, and make sure that you have really learned interaction. If you do not learn interaction, Srishti, interaction means you are really interacting with your goal also. You need to interact. Do you remember how the Santiago learns the language of the world? How he talks to the desert, how he talks to the wind, how he talks to the sun. So that means there is some meaning behind it. That is not just the figment of imagination. The author wants to say something, that when you have aimed at a goal, you need to interact with this. Otherwise, if you do not interact, you will simply be the story that is written in the beginning. The story, the lake and the Narcissus. The Narcissus is the youth who looks at the water day in, day out, and he falls in love with his own image, and he comes to the lake just to see his own reflection. And so does the lake. The lake also is in love with her beauty. She also sees herself in the eyes of the Narcissus. So what happened? So they are communicating or interacting?
Communicating.
They are simply communicating. उनमें संचार हो रहा है, उनमें ट्रांजैक्शन हो रही है, इंट्रैक्शन नहीं हो रही है. When Narcissus falls down, he dies, and then the lake starts weeping. the goddess of forest comes, and she asks that, oh, you must be weeping because your friend has passed away. Then she said, yes, I am weeping because I could see in his eyes that how beautiful I was. So these days, we the youth are so self-possessed that we simply communicate. And this self-obsession, self-possession, self-possessiveness has led to ego inside us. We are not able to see that we are only communicating, we are not interacting. So this is what I think, if the youth understand this, that they are supposed to interact, not communicate, naturally they will find their inner calling. And that's what Santiago does. See the story when it starts. Santiago did not do what Narcissus and the lake had done, because they did not.
They were self-obsessed.
They were self-obsessed and ego-driven.
So that was all. Thanks for giving transparent examples to make me understand the things that I didn't understand while reading the book. And the thing that I found very much impressive in the session, it was like you said, we humans, we are the base material, and we have to undergo through the process of transition in order to become God.
Transformation.
Yes. In order to become God. So it was the thing that I found impressive a lot, and I also believe that the viewers, they should also read this book, because it is such a great book. It will help you find your personal legend. It will make you realize that you are meant to do something in your life.
Have you found your inner calling, true inner calling in your life?
Yes, sir. I have the personal legend that I want to be a lawyer, but my true inner calling is that I have to be a lawyer in order to serve the mankind and humanity.
That's great. So to be a lawyer is your career goal, and serving humanity
is the inner call.
But a lawyer or a judge is paid for his service. What do you say about this? So everybody is serving in a way. Do you think that you need to go out of the way? I
need to think out of the box.
Okay.
All the people, there are so many judges out there that are working day, night and day out, and they are just doing something for the humanity. But if I'll be a judge, I would try to do something more different than them. Like you are the example, you have started an NGO.
So Srishti, in this book is written that if you want something, the universe conspires to achieve. It conspires to help you achieve that. So do you believe in this particular phrase?
Yes, a lot. I still remember when I was in 5th, so I had this dream of bagging the first position in my class, and there were lots of students who were quite good at study, and I was way more back. I was way more bad at studies. So it was I just set my mind, it was my personal legend that time, that I want to be the best in my class. So I just tried working hard, and I just took each and every class seriously. And by the time when I started concentrating on the things, I found that even the God wants that, even the whole universe, each and everything, all the trials and tribulation, all the stones that blocked my way in order to achieve that thing, it just went away on its own. So I do believe, even my mom believes, that if you want something so badly, if you listen to your inner call, if you want to achieve something, so God has put that particular dream.
It's natural.
So yeah, the God is the one who would help.
In this book, if I'm to talk about spirituality, if you want to get at the truth of non-duality, we need to learn how to navigate the duality of the world. Like rag, dvesh, love, hatred. So, how did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Particular?
You said that in order to, if you want to move to the non-duality, if you want to move to the journey of self-consciousness or the journey to the supreme, so we need to get away from all the vikaras that we have within us, the duality of the duality nature of
naturally, or in other words, we can say that we should not bypass the world. For instance, if we want to realize the self, the journey of self-realization should go through.
So even the Buddha, he also believed that in order to start meditation and vipassana, I just don't have to bypass the world. I have to live inside the world. And even Krishna said this thing. You have to be something great in your life, or if you want to do something different, so you have to do it by living with the people, with the society, or within the world. So yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the message the central idea of this book, spiritually speaking, is that deep down we are the same. We are not different.
Yes, sir.
We are the same. Every physical process that you undergo while becoming doctor or judge is the reflection of spiritual
Yes, sir.
reality.
We all
Isn't it?
have that supreme God within us.
Indeed.
So that was all, and I hope you learned something out of this video. And I would suggest you to go through this book once and to watch this video in order to get much more clearance, in order to get much more deeper meaning. And I hope that you will also not fail to realize your personal legend and do not ignore your true calling. That was all. Thank you, sir, and thank you for all the people for watching this video. If you have any of the doubts, kindly drop it in the comment box. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Vishwa.